Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for your previous likes, comments and subscriptions to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, why not click on that button and ring the bell so you can get notifications whenever I'm dropping content on the channel. And now onto the topic of this video. It's the night before SX15 starts. It's my first look video at the two SX15 heroes. They loaded into the game earlier in the week and now they've had their skills updated as well, maybe a day or so ago. So they're here down here in the not recruited section, of course. We've got Code Creator and Manding Lion. So we're going to have a look at Manding Lion first. He is a ranged cavalry hero. Sunday after the Manding Lion, he does have a backstory based in Western Sudan, etc., etc. Not going to go through that. Let's get straight into the skills. Of course, as ever, this is a first look video. These heroes have not been released in the game yet. It's me looking at the skills, giving my kind of best guess. Of course, it doesn't always transpire how I think it's going to, but let's have a look. So skill 1, as ever, Dictator skill, giving the extra 23,100 extra troops. No difference there. Skill 2 is Flame of Revenge. It's an additional attack skill, i.e. passive skill. So there's a chance for this to trigger after the normal basic attack has done some physical damage. Following a normal attack, 40% chance to deal up to 537% damage to the enemy squad with the highest might. So that's interesting that it's a targeted skill. And then make its skill damage minus 15%. And this is stackable, lasting till the battle ends. So that's good because if it is targeting that same squad each time and you're reducing the skill damage, 40% chance, if you just say you've got your 8 basic chances in a battle with the 8 rounds, that's 3 to 4 times in a battle, so you're going to make up to 60% minus skill damage for that opponent's squad. If you factor in that, of course, as this is an additional attack, it's a passive skill, it means this is a serial attack combo, so you're going to be pairing this hero with, like a Rosen who's going to give extra attacks, or potentially Warden, for instance. Then Manding Lion could be doing extra attacks of this, and this could actually stack as much as possible, really. So you might see this getting as high as minus 90% skill damage for your opponent's squad. That is a big debuff. So this is pretty good skill at the moment. 1 times 537, it's not huge, but it's pretty good. Skills 3 and 4 are, of course, the extra 50% might and resistance for the troops in your squad. And skill 5, Roaring Lion. It's a second additional attack skill, effective range of 5. Following a normal attack, 45% chance to deal 410% damage to 2 random enemy squads. So that's a maximum of 820. That's 820 damage, basically, this skill does. When the target's troop power exceeds 70%, so basically earlier on in the battle, the damage will be increased by 50% additionally. Now, this is important because, again, serial attack combos, they're front loaded. They want to do as much damage towards the front of the start of the battle as possible. If you are pairing this hero with Beast Queen, who's already, again, buffing your attacks, and Rosen that is giving you the chance to do extra attacks, giving more damage, then even more damage from this skill as well is going to help with that. Now, as ever, the devs, it's not crystal clear what this 50% means. Does it mean that this actually increases by 205% damage, or is it this damage kind of attribute which will be increased by 50%? We'd have to wait and see until this hero is in battle. Skill 6, an extra 15% damage, that's what you would expect. Skill 7 is extra might, again what you would expect from a range hero. And then skill 8 is a prep skill, so it's going to activate pre-battle. Usually the damage dealing elements of these skills, even if this hero dies, the damage dealing elements, if they affect other heroes in the squad, they will continue actioning through to the end of the battle. If there's a healing element, it doesn't always do that. The Manding Lion squad deals 150% more physical damage. Now, again, if this is an actual buff on the physical damage attribute. 150% is huge. Following an additional attack, 70% chance to deal 514% physical damage to a random enemy squad within the valid range. Okay, so you're doing additional attacks if skill 2 or skill 5 activates. 70% of the time after that, you'll have a chance to do another 514% damage. So if you, to just one random enemy squad. So if you take that you've got skill 5 doing 2 lots of 410, that's 820, plus you add on another 514, that's 1334% total damage if this second element from skill 8 kicks in. That is a lot of damage. And then, interestingly, make the hero squad deal minus 15% physical damage, stackable for up to 6 times and can be triggered up to 3 times each round. Now, this sounds like it's debuffing this additional physical damage buff because it's reducing it down. So each time this extra attack happens, then you're reducing your physical damage by up to 90%, and could actually be complete by turn 3. That's basically what it's saying, right? Because it's 3 times each round. That would then give you, obviously, 150 minus 90 is 60%. So even if you have this full debuff of your own damage in effect, you're still doing an extra 60%. Now, let's talk about this hero versus Immortal, because he is being positioned as an Immortal replacement. That's how the devs have said it and shown in the different squads. Immortal skill 2 is a 40% chance to do 2 lots of 348% damage. So a total of 746% damage. His skill 5 is only 34% chance to do a 465% damage. His skill 6 is combat speed, so you're not getting extra damage there. And bearing in mind, if you pair this hero with Rose and Blade anyway, you're getting extra combat speed when you need it at the start of the battle, so it's not really an issue. And then Immortal skill 8 gives a permanent 80% damage buff. So this hero will potentially be doing more damage in the first 2 or 3 rounds, right? While this maximum 150 is in effect. And that pairs perfectly with a Beast Queen. It works well with a Farah, and obviously it works really well with a Rosen. So is this hero better than Immortal? Well, you are getting this stackable debuff on the damage on for your opponent's damage on skill 2, and he's dealing extra 50% damage potentially on his skill 5. So, and then you have this additional chances to do an extra 514% damage in terms of an attack with your skill 8. So I think, yes, Manding Lion will be better than Immortal. Would it be better than Immortal with a maxed skin? It'll be interesting to see, but I'm guessing he will be, otherwise why would they put him in? So that's Manding Lion for now. And then the second hero that has been released is a support Footmen hero called Code Creator. So Code Creator, let's have a look at the stats again. 23,100 extra for the hero squad as usual. Skill 2, combat skill, effective range of 5, 60% chance to deal up to a 180% damage to an enemy squad for 3 times. So that's basically, it's 3 separate attacks and it will do 540% damage. And a 50% chance to curse it, making it take 200% damage each round for 2 rounds. So that's another 400% damage basically. So this basically what this skill is saying is that it will always do 540% damage, and 50% of the time that it activates, it's actually going to do 940% damage, which is significant. 60% chance, you're looking at probably 5 times a battle basically, potentially. But then we read on. If the target is already cursed, 50% chance to silence it for 1 round. 1 round of silence is an average CC at this stage of the game. It's not great. But at least if that initial element doesn't work, then you still have the chance to do another action. So there's kind of 3 elements to this. However, as we've seen in recent Footmen heroes, there will be a cooldown of 1 round after this skill is cast. So actually, you can only use it 4 times in a battle. and only twice effectively will it give this extra damage with the cursing. So skills 3 and 4, 50% resistance, 50% might. Skill 5, combat skill again, effective range of 3. This is for one random friendly squad within effective range, so that's why your effective range is 3. 40% chance to restore the troop power of your side for 3 times, and the recovery rate is 180%, I presume, each time. So if this is 540% total recovery, that is big, really big. And then it says choosing one random squad of yours within the valid range. So for 3 times, choosing one squad. Now, this is the thing. Is it therefore going to do 180% healing, and that's 3 different each time it's going to choose one random squad? Or is it that it does 3 lots of 180% to the same squad? I'm presuming from the wording that it's got to be potentially that it will choose a new squad each time for each 180%. So in theory, you could have each of your squads, all 3 squads getting 180% healing, or you could get one squad getting 540% healing. Either way, it's a lot of healing. That is pretty good. Skill 6. It's awaken with extra might and resistance and extra damage, 15% damage. Then you're getting extra might, and skill 8 is a prep skill, an effective range of 4. Every time your Footman squad casts a combat skill, 100% chance to deal minus 10% damage to one enemy squad, stackable for up to 10 times. So every time you do your skills 2 or 5 trigger, this is going to stack this buff, which is going to put it onto an enemy squad. It says it doesn't say which specific enemy squad, so I presume that this could actually activate as many times as possible in a up to say 30, obviously would be the maximum, and you can 10 times 10% is obviously 100%. So negative 100% debuff is again a really big level of debuff if this is, but I mean realistically your skills are not going to trigger 30 times in a battle. They're probably going to trigger 7 or 8 times, so you're probably looking at the average debuff for an opponent's squad, each of their squads, being around 30 to 40%. Even so, just from one skill, that is a lot of that is quite a big debuff for the opponent. So he's pretty good code creator. He is what you'd expect from a support hero. You know, he's doing some damage, he's doing some healing, he's doing some debuffing to the opponent. So a nice rounded hero there. Devs took the unusual step of actually releasing the combos ahead of time. So as part of the intro to these heroes, as you can see, first off, for Lion, as expected, as I've already discussed, it's looking like he is a serial attack hero, so he's going to work with Rosen and Farah. He's going to work with Warden and Rosen, and if you want, of course, if you've got Beast Queen, and you can use them with Beast Queen and Rosen. Potentially, he could be better because, again, a lot of that extra damage is front-loaded in the first couple of turns, so I would expect that he's going to be really good with Poison Tiles when we have a look at him in the coming week. So Code Creator is a bit of a more interesting one. You can see that obviously the devs think that he's going to pair with Ashoka, and I guess the reason for that, if we go to Ashoka, is because Ashoka's 8th skill needs heroes casting combat skills, which this hero will certainly do with a 60% and a 40% chance. And then obviously you can see from the combos they're pairing with either Cao or like Scarlet Reaver. Obviously Scarlet Reaver casts a lot of combat skills as well. So you can see this 8th skill in battle. For every 5 combat skills cast by your side, Ashoka will take minus 50% damage lasting 1 round. Meanwhile, restores some troop power for 2 random squads of yours, and that recovery rate is 186%. So it's a big healing, and if you pair that with what Code Creator's healing is doing, you could have a lot of healing going on in that squad. Will you want to take Reaver out of the absolute OP Aslan Scarlet healer combo, probably not. So it's going to be interesting to see, this first option. They seem to be really keen on Cao working with him, maybe even Pepin as well, because I think Pepin needs Footmen heroes, doesn't he? So again, I'm not sure. Is this absolute OP? I mean, that if that recovery skill is activating a lot of the time in conjunction with Ashoka's recovery, you could see a lot of healing. Like I say, it could be pretty good. And the debuff as well, it's hard to tell. Often nothing is like, it's not screaming out at me that he's definitely like a 5-star hero. He's looking more like 3 or 4-star for me. But only, yeah, as I say, we'll have to see in testing later in the week how he gets on. So there we go, guys. That is our two new SX15 heroes. Just my first look at both of them. Finally, a replacement for Immortal, potentially. Immortal's been such a ever-present for us in the game from S2, which for some players is over 4 years ago, all the way up till now. He's been in, even now, people are using him with Farah and Rosen, obviously. What a brilliant mainstay hero he's been. If this new hero is finally Manding Lion is finally going to replace him, then he's going to have to be good. So we'll have to wait and see. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on these heroes. What are you thinking about how they'll be used, and how good are their skills? And of course, please do pop your comments in the comment section down below. And if you've liked this video, please do click on that like, and if you could share this video on my channel, in your Alliance chat, Province chat, and through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with your fellow players in the game. That would be very much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.